everybody. Welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. Okay, today's topic is dating someone with a mental disability. Dating someone with a mental disability. Before we get started, I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all of the new viewers, to all of the new subscribers, and welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I really appreciate you. Now, those of you who are new to this channel, I will answer your relationship questions. So at the end of the video, I'll show you a link where you can send in your questions, and I will either answer them privately through the email, or I will share them online with the collective, and it can be your decision. Now, those of you who are interested in these caps, they are available in my online store. And if you look down in the description, you'll see a link, and there you are. Okay, now, let's start off with today's affirmation. And here it is. I am elevating my vibration and rising in love. I am raising my vibration and rising in love. Okay, let this sink in, ladies and gentlemen. Let this sink in, people. Let it sink into your spirit. Raise your vibration, because that's where love resides. Love resides in the higher vibrations. So today, concentrate on raising your vibrations in love. Okay? Let's say it one more time. I am elevating my vibration and rising in love. All right. Have a wonderful day as you allow this affirmation to be in your spirit. Now, for my appreciation of you supporting this channel, I will be giving away a deck like this one once this channel hits 100,000 subscribers. This is a wonderful deck, and I have been choosing cards from this deck for our daily affirmations. It's a 53 card oracle deck. I will be giving this away to one of you lucky subscribers. I will randomly choose one of you to receive this deck once this channel hits that number. And I will be announcing the lucky winner's name right here on the channel. So good luck to all of you. The only requirement is that you be a subscriber. All right? Okay. Now, let's talk about the message today. Dating someone with a mental disability. Okay. First of all, dating someone with a mental disability can be challenging. It can be very challenging. And it's something that you really should consider before you step on that path. Okay, I did pull a video, and I'd like you to watch the video, and then we're going to talk more about the issue. We did get a letter in. We're going to read the letter, and we're going to talk about it. Okay? All right, here we go.
One of the issues we have in our marriage is that when Andrew does something that upsets me, or does something that he doesn't like and gets mad at himself, he gets stuck in this pattern of like thinking he's bad at everything, and then he'll just have no self-esteem, and he'll kind of punish himself, and he'll end up turning like a little disagreement into kind of a week-long thing, because it's all he can focus on. Like, he micro-focuses on the thing he did wrong, even when originally it wasn't that wrong to begin with. Like, I'll be like, I wasn't even that mad. I'm just telling you, like, I don't like this. I'd rather you do it this way. Can you focus on this? but Andrew will just end up punishing himself. So can you talk a little bit about what that feels like?
It's a feedback loop that can, it's a spiral out of control. It's hard to explain. Anybody who loses their ability to self-regulate in a moment and then lets their thoughts spiral can understand what it's like. Because I have a hard time focusing sometimes, so I lose the ability, or I lose a lot of my ability to self-regulate, or like self-care, self-regulate. Like, I don't know, just do it. It's like, it's not there. I guess you just gotta keep practicing. It's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why sometimes you get caught in the storm.
Because even though you're doing 80% things in life right, you'll focus on the 10%.
Well, you'll have micro moments where you you'll have some bad days, but then the bad days can feel like it's the end or something. It feels 1,000 times worse than it is, but that's what it feels like, and you can't see out of it. You can't. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough when you find your own glitch.
Yeah.
Because if you never figure it out, then you'll always suffer from it. And figuring it out is like what does that mean? How to cope? How to to what degree? To what level? Whatever.
Yeah.
And then the funny thing is sometimes you just snap out of it.
Okay, now you see from the video that dating someone with a mental disability can be very challenging. And you really need to have a patient personality if you decide that you want to do that. Okay? Now, let's read the letter and let's see what this lady says, and we're going to talk about it. Okay? All right, here we go. I recently rejoined the dating scene and have begun to accept dates. I met this man online. Okay. Okay. I'm one who talk against dating anybody online. Okay. But let's go on with the letter and see what's going on. We exchanged numbers and had a conversation with him straight away. He has 3 kids, lives alone, owns a home, and is separated while going through a divorce. He works in the IT industry and is very smart. However, I noticed during our initial conversation that he seemed rigid. It immediately struck me as odd, but I didn't pick up dangerous vibes at all from him. I just assumed he was nervous to talk to me. Okay, all right. Now, before we get really deep into this area, I just want to explain now, I am a spiritualist. I'm not a therapist, okay? So I can't speak on the mental disability, but I can speak on your involvement with a person who has a mental illness, because I have experience there. I do have experience dealing with a person who has a mental disability, and that's how I'm going to speak to you. Okay? All right, here we go. We decided to meet the next day for lunch and a movie. Upon seeing him for the first time, I was immediately attracted to him. He is very handsome, well-groomed, and smelled nice. Well, did you get that close to him to see how good he smelled? Unless he had on something that was, understand, sometimes men put on this fragrance and you can smell it. The wind hits it And yeah, you can smell it. Okay. He has this beautiful, deep voice and a gorgeous Jamaican accent. His accent is diluted just enough to where I can still understand him. All right. Okay. Before we get too far, this is the man that you met online. You exchanged numbers, and then you had a conversation with him, and he's telling you he's going through a divorce. He has 3 kids. He lives alone, and he owns his own home, and he is in the IT industry. Okay, so now the next day after chatting with him online, you meet him for lunch and a movie. Okay. All right. Now you are impressed by him because he's handsome and well-groomed and he smells nice. Okay. All right. And I guess you like his Jamaican accent. He was so chivalrous, polite, and kind. Now remember, this is his representative. This is not him. You're only meeting his representative, and you've only been chatting with his representative. Ladies, keep this in mind. All right. He was appropriately affectionate, and each touch was very considerate and respectful. He talked about his impending divorce with me and his wife a bit during lunch. Okay, wonder what he had to say about his wife. Okay? If he talked about how awful she was and why the marriage didn't work, is not working, and what she's doing, that's a red flag, okay? Okay? A man shouldn't be telling you just met him about his woes with his wife, okay? So you didn't say what he said, but I'm just throwing that out there. It's a red flag if he was bashing his wife to you. Okay? All right. He shared with me she encouraged him to go into therapy. He declined. She left him and moved in with her parents. Well, you can't blame her for that. And when he told you that, I hope your eyes opened wider. Okay? He told me that he asked her to help him get comfortable with therapy, and she just told him to figure it out on his own. All right. Now, she told him that because she didn't want to be his nurse. I don't know how long he was with this woman. Is this the woman that he had the 3 kids with? I don't know. From your letter, I don't know. Okay? But whatever his illness is, she asked him to go to therapy. So it must have been pretty hard for her to ask him to go to therapy. That was his opportunity to keep it together. We'll stay together if you go to therapy. You understand? We do that. We give them a chance, an opportunity to better themselves. But he didn't want to go. He's saying he's not going. So she left him. Now here you are, listening to the story. I hope that you are listening with your listening ears. With your listening ears, because he's letting you know the deal right now. All right? And I hope you're not sitting there and being taken in by his gorgeous appearance and his smell. Okay? All right. He said he had some very negative thoughts about himself during this time. Okay, what does that mean? Is he suicidal? What does that mean, negative thoughts about himself at that time? So it looks like he may suffer from depression anyway. Okay? I could see the pain in his eyes as he spoke. I wanted to just give him a big mama hug. That's what he needs. A mama. You understand? Are you willing to be that for him? These are things you need to think about right now before you get too involved in a situation like this, okay? The date went very well. He invited me to go with him on a supermarket run real quick. While we strolled the aisles, smelling soaps, he hugged me several times and even gave me soft kisses on my cheek. I noticed people admiring us as we walked around, and it was so sweet. Okay, it sounds like y'all were probably at the mall or something. You understand? The movie, lunch. Sounds like maybe you were at the mall. Okay, but it doesn't matter. We ended up spending the whole day together. I felt so safe with him. I allowed him to even drive me home. He did not attempt to kiss me at the end of the date. Quite frankly, I wasn't comfortable doing so just yet, and he sensed it. We hugged instead while saying goodbye. All right, okay, a couple of things here. There are a couple of things that I wouldn't have done if I were you. Okay, and number one is, well, you didn't say if you had lunch or if you went to the movies, but that's neither here nor there, because I wanted to see if he actually spent any money. Okay? That's why I'm asking, did you actually get to the movie? And did he actually buy lunch? Okay, you didn't say, but if he didn't, that's a red flag. If he didn't, okay? And number two is, you felt safe with him? You just met him. How can you feel safe with somebody you just met? And plus, you met him online. And it's evident that you believed everything he has told you up to now. Ladies, this is where we make mistakes, right in the very beginning. You can't trust a person like that. You cannot trust a person soon as you meet them. They need to prove to you that they can be trusted, number one. And another thing that you did that I would never do, you hopped in this man's car for him to take you home. You don't know this man. That was a very dangerous move that you did. Okay? Now he knows where you live. If he turns out to be psychopathic, you could have a real issue here. You understand, ladies? Don't be so quick to trust people like that. Period. We haven't even gotten to the mental illness part of it yet. But if you meet a man, you don't trust him right off the bat just because he sounds like he's trustworthy and he tells you that he works in IT, he owns his own home and 3 kids and all this kind of mess. Did you see the home? You understand? Did he show you where he works? You don't know this man. It's the point. You don't know him. Not this fast. Okay. So this is what I noticed during the time I spent with this man. He had trouble controlling his emotions at times. He seemed hypersensitive and aware of his environment. Yeah, because he was probably a little paranoid. He also overanalyzed often, which was strange. This was a little unnerving to me. I didn't understand what was going on. Communicating with him was kind of difficult too. It seemed to be hard for him to stay on topic at times, but he always had an insightful yet intelligent response. Okay. Overall, it was a beautiful date, and he texted me the next day in the morning. When we eventually spoke later that night, he revealed to me that he is possibly a high-functioning autistic with ADHD who hasn't been officially diagnosed. You know, when he told me that, that requires a lot of thought on your end. You understand? You already kind of accepted some things from him that seem a little wishy-washy. You understand? He asked you out on a date. Now, this is funny. He asked you out on a date for a lunch and a movie. In the letter, you never mentioned whether you actually got to lunch or the movie, but you talked about him taking you to the supermarket and how he's romancing you in the supermarket. So, you know, that's a question for me. Did you ever get to lunch in the movie? Or did he just switch it around because he couldn't afford it and he took you to the supermarket instead? Okay? Yeah. I'm just going by what he wrote in the letter. Okay? All right. Now, he told you that he had a mental disability. All right? He also shared that he often has insomnia and needs to constantly move around in his space. That means he can't sleep at night, so he's up walking around the house all night long. Okay? He's telling you, he's laying it out, and he's telling you who he is. He said he purposely doesn't go out on Fridays after a specific time because something bad always happens. And what did you think? After hearing that. Now, this is the second date, I assume. Yeah. But this is after the whole supermarket event. And that night, he's going to text you. Now, wait a minute. No, he called you that night. You spoke that night. And he revealed these things to you, that he had a mental disability. But then he tried to soften it up by saying that he hasn't been officially diagnosed. But that's probably why his wife left him, because he's too much to handle. Too much to handle. See, women don't usually leave relationships unless it just becomes unbearable, and if they have a place that they can go to. She went home to her parents, okay? Which tells me that she knew she had a place to go, so she didn't have to deal with that. Okay? Now, all right, let's look at that. Let's look at that. She left him when he declined therapy. And she left him and went home with her parents. Did she take the kids with her? Because he didn't say that they were living with him, and I doubted that they were. Did she take the kids with her? Or who has the 3 kids? This may be a second wife or a third wife. You didn't say that in the letter. Is this the same wife that had the 3 kids that left a home that he says that he owns a home? See, this is what it's a little confusing here. He says that he owns a home and he has 3 kids, but he lives alone, so the kids are not with him. Now, his wife, because he declined therapy, she moved out and went home with her parents. To me, that doesn't make sense. She moved out of her home with 3 kids and moved in with her parents? See, something isn't jiving here. Maybe this is the second wife or the third wife. She's not the wife that had the 3 kids. You see, it's something that's not quite jiving there. Okay. He told me that he asked her to help him get comfortable with therapy, and she just told him to figure it out on his own. Well, of course, he's going to tell you language like this because these men always want to make the wife look like the bad person. Like they tried everything they could to keep it together, but the wife was just unreasonable. They always tell you stories like this. Don't believe it. It's not true. That his wife probably did everything she could to stay with him. But I'm going to tell you, it's something a little strange about it. Because if this is the wife that had the 3 kids, I can see her leaving the home. He would have had to leave. It's something a little strange there. Okay? All right. He said he had some very negative thoughts about himself during this time. I could see the pain in his eyes as he spoke. I wanted to just give him a big mama hug. That's why he told you that sad tale. That's exactly why he told you that. To get your sympathy. He's playing. He is manipulating you. Look at it. He is getting ready to use you. He's setting you up. He's setting you up to be used right now. All right. Let's see what else you say. Now you say that this is what you notice. That he had trouble controlling his emotions, which means he probably, once he gets to know you, he'll probably fly off the handle without warning, and you'll have your hands full. You understand? You'll have your hands full and you won't know what in the world to do. Oh, he's hypersensitive and aware of his environment. He's probably a little paranoid. You understand? So he's probably on edge all the time. He overanalyzes everything. Do you need that? Do you need that in your life? Do you need a man in your life so bad that you will be willing to live with this? Okay. And communicating with him is difficult too. I think even in the video, the man talked about difficult communication with someone with autism. I think he even talked about it in the video. See, communication is a very big part of a relationship. And if communication is difficult right from the first or second date, I say it's a no-go. That's what I say. Okay. And then he says down here that he doesn't go out on Fridays because something bad usually happens. Yeah, because he's hypersensitive and he can't go out partying on a Friday night. It probably ends up in fights, or he says something wrong to somebody who's intoxicated. Of course, it's going to turn out into a brawl. Okay? You need to think about this. You really need to think about this situation. Is this something that you're willing to live out? Because if you choose it, this would be your reality. This would be your life. You have free will right here at the start. Whether you want this to be your reality or not. And you don't know the thick of it. This is just the beginning. He's just warning you so that when he starts acting crazy, then you'll know that he has this disability. And he's hoping that you'll be more understanding and you'll keep up those mama hugs. Okay? All right. I really don't know what to do with all of this. I'm telling you, you need to run. You need to walk away. You don't want to be anybody's nurse. And this is what this man needs, a nurse. You see, I am naturally a calm-natured person who likes to relax and enjoy a peaceful lifestyle. With this man, it won't be peaceful. This man will take you down a dark path. Okay? And then you'll be wondering how to get out of it, how to turn your life around. How did you get stuck in this? I'm telling you right now, don't start it. Don't start it. No. He seemed to naturally gravitate toward me and trust me. He is so sweet. Yeah, he's sweet. Because right now, he's trying to get you hooked. Get you hooked on him. He can be as sweet as pie. Representatives who you're dealing with right now, is his representative, and this is the best version that he can be right now. This is it. Even with the things that you saw at when you dated him, when you went out with him, all of these hypersensitive things, overanalyzing, unable to control his emotions, this is the best version of him right now. He's showing you the best. You understand? The representative. Now, when he gets to know you, now you're going to be dealing with his true self. And his true self may not be so nice and may not be so sweet. Okay? Miss Faye, he is incredibly sweet, affectionate, and very smart. But he's mentally ill. He has a mental disability. Okay? Now, I've met men on my journey before I was spiritual. I always put that disclaimer out. Before I was spiritual, I did meet a man who had this man had a mental and physical disability. He was in a awful accident long before I met him. I met him with the disability, you see. And I learned through the time of dating him, and I did go on a few dates with this man. He had trouble walking. He had trouble thinking because of this accident. I think he had some brain damage and he was disabled. Me being an empath, you understand, I look past those things and try to see the person, try to be with the person, you understand? And he was a very nice man. He was a very good-looking man. And he was financially stable. You understand? So, but he had this disability. Now, here I was. I needed to decide whether I wanted this to be my reality or not. Okay? Because he would always need somebody to help him wherever he needed to go, which means he needed a nurse. He didn't need the purse, but he needed a nurse. And he needed a full-time nurse to be with him. Because sometimes, he had trouble breathing. So you had to be there. You understand? In case he had some kind of problem. I decided this was not my reality. I walked away from it. Okay? I walked away. And that was my decision. He had no reflection on the man. The man was a very good man and all of that. But I wanted more out of my life than what he would be able to provide. Okay? All right? Now, I'm telling you this because this is your decision. You say that he's very nice and he's very sweet. And I tell you, don't go on that, number one, because you just met it. You see? You actually just met him. Okay? But from the information that you know about him, that he is going to need some care, some constant care. Now, you didn't tell me how old you were. You didn't tell me how old he was. You understand? But in any regard, I'm sure you still have a lot of living to do. Okay? Do you want to be living your life in this confusion? And that's what it's going to be. You understand? He's already had one woman to walk out on him that you know of. There may have been others that just cannot deal with him. The real him. And you don't know the real him. But I'm telling you, you've gotten enough red flags to not even want to know the real him. You see? If the representative doesn't stand up to your standards, which I'm hoping that you have high standards. You understand? If the representative is not standing up to your standards, then you need to walk away. Okay? Now, let's get to the end of this letter to make sure that I answer all of your questions here. Okay? Now, you say, I feel he is a blessing, but I'm overwhelmed with his possible condition. Why do you feel like he's a blessing? Because a man showed up. Because a man responded to you online. You feel like he's a blessing? Listen. Don't be desperate for a man. Don't be desperate for a man at all. Concentrate on yourself, on loving yourself. You understand? When a blessing comes into your life will immediately be better. That's a blessing. That's what a blessing feels like. That your life gets a step up. Now, I don't see where this man is a step up for you. I don't see it. He hasn't done anything for you that I see that made your life, your living, a step up. I don't see where he can offer you anything that would be a step up for you. Now, you say that he owns his home, but you don't know. You don't know for sure. You don't know. I've dated men who claim that they own all kind of mess. Oh, land, homes, all kind of stuff. Then you date them thinking that they have these things and find out that they have none of these things. None of these things. Because they were just telling you that. Because they didn't look at you like they wanted a relationship anyway. You see, it was just something that they wanted out of you. So they tell you these lies. And this man could be one of those people, regardless of his mental illness. It looks like he is trying to find somebody that will take him under these conditions. Okay? I don't want him or his family to feel like I'm taking advantage of him because of his condition, as I obviously never dated a high-functioning autistic man before. What should I do? I say leave. I say leave him. I say he's not the one. That's what I say. He is in my life for a reason. Yes, because, okay, let's go with it. Everything in life happens for a reason. Okay, for you to bring that up. Everything happens for a reason. You wrote this letter for a reason. Okay, there was a reason about this man why you wrote the letter. Okay, this man is in your life for a reason. You're right. And the reason may be to show you this is not for you. That could be the reason. That could be the simple reason. You see, many times when these things happen, we want it so bad that we make it a good blessing. It's a blessing that this man came into my life. This must be a blessing. Ladies, anytime you meet a potential mate, be very discerning about it. Don't look at it like a blessing. Look at it like, now what is the reason why you're here? Why are you here in my reality? Why are you here? Okay, that's the better question. Why are you here? And then you take your time to find out why this person is here. Right now, why this person is here. Now, for you, you went online searching for somebody. So you know why he's here. That's so you say, what'd you say about the reason? That he is in my life for a reason. Yeah, he's there for a reason. He's there for a reason. And if you accept him in your reality, which is your free will, he will show you the reason. Then you'll get to know what the reason is, why he's there. Okay? How do I handle this beautiful soul? How do you know? You just met this man from an online dating site, and already he's a beautiful soul. He's so sweet, and he's so kind, and he's so trusting and loving, and you don't want to hurt his feelings and leave him. You want to help him and take care of him and embrace him. It's your free will. Like you said, I don't want to hurt him. It's your free will. And you have to go with whatever you decide here. But since you wrote the letter to me, I'm going to tell you my opinion. Okay? And this is my honest opinion on this. I don't know if you're an older woman or a younger woman. You didn't say. If you are a younger woman, I say run away from this. Run. You can do much better. You got your whole life ahead of you. You don't need that headache. Let it go. Now, if you are an older woman, and I'll say 50. If you're 50 and older, and you met this man online, okay. Number one, did you say this man had a Jamaican accent? I think he did. Okay. I think he did. All right. Now he is in your town. Now he knows where you live. You understand? Now we already went over that. I think that was a mistake. Okay. All right. So that's water under the bridge. Now he's going to call you up and tell you all of his issues to help you understand why he was acting so weird when you went out with him. Okay? So he's trying to do that little disclaimer just to make sure that, smooth your feathers, nothing to worry about. Because he knows he has an issue. He knows he has an issue, and he probably knows that you detected something about him when you went out with him. So now he's just trying to schmooze you, calm you down. Okay? Now you want to mother him because you think that he is a beautiful soul inside. A beautiful soul inside. And you want to care for him. It's free will. If that's what you decide you want to do, you're going to do it. But my advice is no. Is no. Because even if you're an older woman, why do you need to spend the rest of your days caring for somebody who has a mental disability? Why would you want to do that? Young or old? You understand? I say let him go. Especially since this man isn't even divorced yet. He's still in separation mode. Which means that it's still fresh. And already you're going to hop in. He may be lying to you. He may not even be separated. You understand? You cannot believe what a man tells you like this. Okay? You can't believe any of it. Any of it. I believe you're moving way too fast with him. Okay? And that's even if you decide that you want to deal with it. You still moved way too fast. It's really up to you. Okay? But my advice, no. No. It's not a good situation. Okay? Now, I hope that the message today helps somebody. I really hope that you understand this message. And this message is not putting down people with mental disability or anything like that. It is what it is. But I'm here for you. I'm here for you. And my advice is to help you. And my advice is going to be pure truth, right down to the bare facts. And the facts is, unless you are willing to be a nurse for the rest of your existence with this man or any man with a mental disability, that's going to be your decision. And that's going to be your reality. And you are going to be living with whatever comes along with it. You understand? Whatever comes along with him and that disability, if you decide that you're going to go with it, it's going to be yours. Okay? So, I wish you all well, and I really hope that this helps. Now, those of you who have questions that you would like for me to answer, here is the link. Send your questions to MissFayesWorld@hotmail.com. That's MissFayesWorld@hotmail.com. And try to keep your letters to one page. Just summarize your situation and ask the question. And if you prefer that I answer your question privately through the email, just put it at the very top of your letter, and I will comply. I want to thank you all for supporting this channel. Thank you so much for your comments and your letters, and a special thank you to those that leave a donation. I appreciate all of you. I wish you all well, and I really hope to see you next time.